From the Ticats Audio Network, this is Speaking with the Enemy.
Welcome back, Tiger Town. Tiger Cats and Argonauts from BMO Field is just over 30 minutes away. It's time for us to be Speaking with the Enemy as presented by Red Tag. RedTag.ca. Back to the beach sale is now on. Extend the summer heat and start planning for your fall and winter beach vacation now. Book today at RedTag.ca. Well, he is a man of many hats. He is the Argonauts manager of communications and the team's play-by-play announcer on TSN 1050. Mike Hogan, thanks for crossing enemy lines.
I need all those hats because I have to cover up that sexy little bald spot I have.
You are a good-looking individual, my friend.
It's a curse.
All right. Let's talk some football, and this is, again, a wonderful matchup, so crucial for both teams. Let me talk about the quarterbacks here. McLeod Bethel-Thompson, what's the leash on him? And Chad Kelly seems to be getting more playing time, especially in those third down and goal line situations. Are we looking at him as the future starting quarterback of the Argonauts, maybe even this season?
That's a good question. Right now it's Mac. I mean, Mac is ahead of Chad. You guys have been around the league long enough to know how difficult it is for a guy who doesn't have any CFL experience to all of a sudden become a starting CFL quarterback. You can probably count on one hand in the last 10 to 15 years how many guys have been able to pull that off. And this is a team where, struggling like the Ticats, and until the standings say otherwise, have a legitimate shot of winning the Grey Cup. Everybody who gets into the playoffs does. So Mac is a guy, when you look at it, with Rourke on the shelf, sadly, because he's been just such a joy to watch, but with him done, right now McLeod Bethel-Thompson is the second highest rated quarterback in the Canadian Football League. Has it been a pristine season? Hell no. It hasn't been for any quarterback not named Nathan Rourke. So you guys also know that when a team is struggling offensively, the most popular guy in the organization among the fan base is a backup quarterback. So sometimes I think it's be careful what you wish for. I think Chad Kelly will be a player in this league. Is he ready yet? Probably not.
Mike, we're on the outside looking in, but if you're watching practice or watching the sideline, is there anything you can see out of Ryan Dinwiddie, the head coach and offensive coordinator, or Mike Miller, the quarterback coach, that would suggest that there is some frustration with the way McLeod Bethel-Thompson is playing?
I think there's more more frustration with the offense overall than there is with the position. The offensive line, and some of it is due to play, some of it is due to injury and guys playing out of position. But the offensive line has not afforded Mr. Bethel-Thompson with a whole lot of time. And you guys have a good pass rush. And you saw the last time we were in Hamilton that, when you get a good pass rush and an offensive line that's struggling, it's not a good combination for the quarterback. So Mac has been the victim of that. But, yeah, he's thrown a lot of passes that he, after the game, just wishes he had back. And I think any quarterback, maybe not named Tom Brady or Aaron Rodgers, goes through that. Rourke didn't have many this year either. But, if you ask Zach Collaros, are there 2 or 3 passes a game you wish you had back? The answer is probably going to be yes. So, there's a lot being made of McLeod Bethel-Thompson here in this market by a lot of the fan base. And while he hasn't been playing at, say, a Ricky Ray level, he's still keeping this team in games. The only problem seems to be inside the 20. And how much of that is on scheme, how much of that is on Mac, how much of that is on O-line, how much of that is on drops, which we have seen in the red zone. I don't know. I'm not sitting down and breaking down every play like the guys are doing in film, but it's a myriad of reasons. And I know the easiest guy to blame is the quarterback, and I think in this market that's what's happening right now.
We mentioned the offensive line, and we discussed that in detail a few weeks ago with all the injuries that Toronto has had. Has there been an improvement in the consistency or the confidence that the Argos have in that offensive line since in the last week or two since we last saw you?
Probably not, because you still have Phil Blake playing out at tackle, and he's doing a decent job. I mean, that's not the biggest problem. Right now, I don't think Dejan Allen is at 100%, and I think that shows. He's not in the NFL right now because of his size. He doesn't have that NFL size that's required now. Technically, he's really good. Like, his feet are great. He's got a great punch, but he has not looked like he has or did last year. So there's still maybe a little bit of lingering injury there. But Bladek has been really good. McKellar is getting better every game. Lawrence has been steady. He had some problems with the exchanges. I think there were 8 bad snaps in the pistol in the first 4 or 5 games. So I don't think there's been one since. So that seems to be cleared up. But is it a great unit right now? No. Is it a little bit better than probably the first time these two teams played? Probably.
You know, Hoagie, I've always thought that the Argonauts run under McLeod Bethel-Thompson in that offense is they're a really good check down offense. And I got to ask you this question, and take it for what it's worth. At this point of their careers, is A.J. Ouellette a more dangerous tailback than Andrew Harris actually was?
It depends how they're used. I mean, I can see that. I think Andrew still had a little bit more top end speed. And I'm not saying AJ is slow. The best line I've heard about AJ Ouellette was, if you need 5 yards, he'll give you 7. If you need 9 yards, he'll give you 7. So, you know, he is what he is. He's really consistent. He was their leading receiver last week against Calgary. I think it was 82 or 92 yards out of the backfield. So he can catch the ball, and if he gets on you as a fullback, you're not getting off him. He's just a devastating blocker. So he's a different kind of back than Andrew Harris, and Javon Leake is a different kind of back than both of those two. So Andrew Harris, you know, was great. He had a 145-yard game, I think, against Regina. So he can still run, and Ouellette may not have that, you know, that breakaway speed that Harris still has, but he's still dangerous, just in a different way.
Mike, I have 4 stats from the first 2 games I want to share and get your thoughts on any or all of them, which you see would kind of linger over into the third matchup out of 4. So turnovers, 4-0 in favor of Toronto. Time of possession was about 5 minutes in favor, 5 minutes more in favor of Hamilton. Punt average was over 5 yards per punt in favor of Toronto, and sacks was 6-2 in favor of Hamilton. Which of those concerns you, or do you think will be a factor in tonight's game?
Boy, it's really windy here right now. Like, I mean, usually the wind comes off Lake Ontario, and it's a south wind from the south. Right now it's from the north, and the banners. I'll get this in to stoke the rivalry a little bit more. The 17 championship banners, including 3 from this millennium, are flat out, like they're parallel with the ground, and the flags in the end zone are just absolutely flat out. So maybe the punting does come into play. I haven't seen John Haggerty punt in strong winds or even take a note, but right now he's had a hell of a year for rookies. Second in the league, 48-6. He's leading the league with 7 punts being downed inside the 10, and the Argos, when they punt the football, the opponents have the worst starting position in the league. Sorry, third worst starting position in the league at the 34.9-yard line. So he's done a really good job as a punter. But, you know, punting in the wind, I don't know how much of that he did down in Western Kentucky or back home in Australia when he was going through some of the camps there to get ready to come to North America. So that might be something interesting to watch in the game tonight. Don Gallo's obviously punted in the wind quite a bit, and we'll see what Haggerty can do.
Hogan, be honest. If the Argos are out of the playoffs, would you not cheer for Bob Young to get the first Ticat Grey Cup in this millennium?
I have said many times that I don't think there's a person in the CFL who deserves a Grey Cup ring more than Bob Young. It would kill me to see it, but you know, I would be happy for Bob Young. It's funny because of the crossover now. Like, you got so many guys. I love Orlando Steinauer. Like, he's one of my favorite guys ever in the CFL. It's very difficult to see him wearing black and gold, even though that's what he started in. So yeah, I mean, Dylan Wynn. It's difficult because I think he's a fantastic player. It's difficult to see him in black and gold, but that's what makes it great. It must kill you guys to see Speedy B and Jagarrett Davis when Jagarrett's in the lineup in double blues. So, you know, you see guys like that, you kind of pull for the individuals, but it's impossible for Hamilton players to cheer for Jagarrett Davis winning a Grey Cup this year, or Speedy, much as it is an Argo fan or employee, to see Bob Young get a ring, even though he deserves it as much as he does.
I didn't really like seeing O'Shea, and I certainly didn't like seeing Morielli in double blue. I mean, at their points in their careers.
You know what the best was? Joe Monfort wearing double blue.
Oh, no, that was all wrong.
Oh, he looked so good in double blue.
All wrong. He was washed up at that point. You know it.
You tell him that.
You know. One last one here, Fogie. We got to check out of here. But let me just throw. This is a kind of a general question. Like, what do you think of this CFL East division right now? This is. I guess this can be fun.
I think the teams are better, I mean this sincerely. I think every team is better than their record. Look at Calgary. Calgary barely beat Hamilton. It took the field goal in the last play. A fumble on the last drive maybe saved them against us last week. Winnipeg, it took Forrest Beatty's only missed extra point in 2 years as an Argo to stop that one from going to overtime. The West is winning, but not as much as people are kind of looking at. Edmonton's had a couple of close wins. I think the teams in the East are way better than their record indicates, but the power is still at the top of the West.
I agree. It's going to be whoever can make the playoffs, it has a chance to win. So thanks for stopping by, Mike, and have a good call tonight.
Yeah. Always love it. Come on, give me a pull together. Give me an Argos. Come on, guys.
Get out of here.
What you're going to get is this has been Speaking to the Enemy as presented by Red Tag. From the Argonauts play-by-play booth, Mike Hogan, it is time to end the peace treatment. Thank you for your time, pal.
Always love coming on with you guys.
All right, bud. Take care.